5.
On your side, this is WHAS 11 News.
Good morning. Right now at 5 o'clock, Donald Trump wins the White House. The late night concession from his opponent, Hillary Clinton.
He congratulated us. It's about us on our victory.
This morning, we're on your side covering every aspect of this historic presidential election.
Good riddance. I mean, really. And I mean that sincerely. He served for a long time, but he's outworn his welcome.
A party shift in Kentucky with the power turning to the Republicans in the bluegrass. Governor Bevin weighs in on the shakeup, including why he is not going to miss former House Speaker Greg Stumbo.
And some people are calling it a sudden victory in what many believe to be a race for the Democrats for Indiana's next governor. Republican Eric Holcomb sharing his excitement following Tuesday night's big win. It is a Wednesday morning, the morning after a historic election. Good morning, Kentucky. I'm Derek Rose.
And I'm Juliana Valencia. Let's head over to weather and check how our Tuesday is looking like.
It is looking pretty good, actually, as we head through the day. Now, it's cooler as you go out this morning. We had that rain yesterday. Luckily, it didn't really affect folks heading to the polls, but we could use it because of the forest fires that we just talked about. And it may be a little while before we catch any more rainfall. It's going to be a little while before we see any additional rain. The big story will be cooler air. Check out your hour-by-hour forecast rolling through the day today. Again, I think a mix of clouds and sunshine for the better part of the day. The big key here is winds out of the north and northwest. A little breezy from time to time. We'll start out in the mid-40s most locations and eventually work our way back up into the upper 50s. With skies expected to clear out overnight. We're seeing a little bit of clearing right now. In fact, downstate temperatures are still into the mid-50s right now. But as you take it hour by hour with our futurecast here, we'll see mainly upper 50s for highs. And then overnight tonight, that's when we drop down upper 30s here in the city, but outlying areas into the low and mid 30s, and then we're back into the 60s tomorrow. Right now, as mentioned, temperatures downstate in the 50s. Southern Indiana, it is a little bit cooler, and we've got a frost advisory till Thursday morning, starting tonight for much of Kentuckiana. The growing season hasn't come to an end yet, and this may be a prelude of things to come for the weekend. We'll talk more about it coming up.
Starting off your 5 o'clock hour right now here on 265 near Shelbyville Road. We are in the clear, much better compared to what we saw this time yesterday morning with interstate closures, and that is not what we want to see today. So we are nice and calm, driving smoothly here across Kentuckiana through Jeffersonville this morning. 65 drivers north and southbound heading across the bridges. The 2nd Street Bridge traffic also in the clear, and then making your way back in toward the metro. Our dispatchers telling us no trouble runs out right now as far as any wrecks or incidents along the roads. You are in the green. Let's get a quick check here closer toward the airport. The Waterston at 65, also up to speed with those drive times reflecting just that. 9 to 14 minutes on 71 and 64 headed into Spaghetti Junction. And for our Clark County drivers, an 8-minute drive once you pass the Lee Hamilton headed for the Ohio.
All right, Brooke, this morning word came out about 2:30, 3 hours ago or so, that Hillary Clinton called Donald Trump to congratulate him on his victory in the 2016 election.
A short time later, Trump appeared on stage in Manhattan, New York to make his victory speech. Our Julia Rose has been watching this all unfold. She joins us now in their newsroom. Julia, take us through the highlights of that speech.
Well, Juliana and Derek, Trump started off his speech saying that this victory belonged to his supporters, not just him. He then congratulated Hillary Clinton on a hard-fought campaign, thanking her for her service to the United States. Trump also spoke about the need to come together as a country in order to move forward.
Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division. Have to get together. To all Republicans and Democrats and independents across this nation, I say it is time for us to.
Trump also used his speech to reach out and address people all around the world. Take a listen to that part.
I want to tell the world community that while we will always put America's interests first, we will deal fairly with everyone,
And of course, Trump had much more to say coming up in the next hour of GMK. Hear the message he had to those who did not support him. And as for Hillary Clinton, we're expecting to hear from her at some point later this morning. In the newsroom, Julia Rose, WHAS 11 News.
Julia, thank you. Many of you are sharing your thoughts and concerns on social media about the presidential election and other races across Kentuckiana. We want you to keep the conversation going on Facebook as well as Twitter. You can share your pictures on the GMK Instagram account as well. Also coming up, Jonathan Wall is in Sellersburg getting your reaction to last night's big vote. It's still coming up here on WHAS 11. And for the first time in nearly a century, Republican Party will have control of the bluegrass, a move Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin is celebrating this morning.
As our Kayla Moody reports, Bevin is excited about the momentum building for his party in Frankfort.
Governor Matt Bevin took the stage last night saying after 95 years of Democratic rule, it's about time Republicans took control of the Kentucky House of Representatives. The House flip will likely have a major impact on Kentucky policy, giving Bevin a rubber stamp on his preferred policies. The governor said the Republican takeover signaled that people were ready for a change. One of the biggest seats surrendered to the GOP was that of House Speaker Greg Stumbo, who in a huge upset lost his re-election bid. Bevin did not mince words over the matter, saying it's been a long time coming.
Good riddance. I mean, really. And I mean that sincerely. He served for a long time, but he's outworn his welcome. He has been a thorn in the side of any number of good people for many years for purely political reasons. And so I'm not going to miss him one bit. And I don't think, frankly, the people of even his own district are going to, based on the incredible drubbing that he received.
While many Democrats fear what the future may hold under a Republican governor, Republican Senate, and now a Republican House, last night Republican leader Jeff Hoover said the new majority will not let partisan politics rule Frankfort. For GMK, I'm Kayla Moody, WHAS 11 News.
Thank you, Kayla. And across the river, Indiana's lieutenant governor will soon hold the state's top seat.
Eric Holcomb will become the Hoosier State's next governor. Holcomb defeated Democrat John Gregg. The final vote, Holcomb coming in with 52% of the vote to Gregg's 45%. Holcomb was only appointed to office this past March as lieutenant governor under Mike Pence after the former lieutenant governor resigned. So this is the first time he has actually been elected.
When we kicked this thing off, you heard what I heard. You heard Holcomb can't raise enough money. Holcomb can't put a credible statewide campaign together in this short amount of time. Holcomb can't do this and Holcomb can't do that. Well, they were partly right. Holcomb couldn't do it, but we did.
Holcomb made it a point to thank his opponent John Gregg during that speech and says he is excited to take the state to what he calls the next level in the next 4 years. And this morning, we're on your side throughout the morning as we talk about the winners, the losers, and what is next now that many seats across Kentuckiana are now filled.
Coming up at 6, our political editor Chris Williams breaks down the races and highlights some of the things you can expect following this election. Again, that's coming up in our next hour on The Morning Brew.
It is 5:07 here on a Wednesday morning. Good morning, Kentuckiana. We have a lot more election news to get to you this morning, including Trey Hollingsworth, who is headed to Washington to fill Indiana's vacant District 9 seat. Trey Hollingsworth shares some of the things he plans to tackle once he is in office.
Clark County is reporting no issues as voters hit the polls to cast their ballot. The reason some officials say the county operated smoothly on Election Day.
Hey, good morning, Kentuckiana. Cooling off out there, and that is going to be a prelude of things to come. In fact, overnight tonight into Thursday, we got a frost advisory. First time we've seen that so far this year, or at least this season. So we'll have more details on that. First, your Kentucky Lottery jackpot numbers: of Mega Millions, $63 million. Kentucky Powerball, $236 million.
The Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education.